All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning, and I hope you're having a great, hope you had a great week, and hope you had a great day yesterday as well. So let's get to it. Give me 1 second, guys. Here, just gotta restart the room over here. So hope everyone on YouTube had a great week so far, and hope you're ready to end the week this Friday as we get ready for our last day of trading this week. All right, let's make sure we have Norm on board as well. Let's just get him going here. All right, here we go. And where is my gamepad for my hotkeys? All right, you can touch Friday. Things are all over the place, getting ready for the weekend. Okay, here we go. Good morning, guys. Hope you guys can hear me now in the main chat room. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope you guys are having a great morning, and as I mentioned earlier, a great day yesterday as well. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Doing all right, doing all right. All right, guys, let's get to it. As usual, we'll go over our gappers list, our watch list from yesterday right on here. I am keeping the brokers down here as well because, again, I think these are going to be active for next few coming days with all the movements they have going on in the news. We'll go over our watch list. We'll see what news we have with Norm, the latest and greatest. And then we'll get into our gappers list, which is pretty light with Snap and only Apple here. Both on the green, and then we'll add NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers, and see what you guys have on your end that looks good for us to check out. So let's get to it. Let's start.
Don't you worry, Carlos. It's going to start growing here any second.
Yes, absolutely. So let's get to Tesla. See what's going on here with Tesla and how it traded yesterday. Actually, Tesla traded very well yesterday. Let's look at this open. This had a very nice drop here, and obviously, as we know. Actually, let's look at the SPY real quick because you're going to see in a lot of these daily charts, you're going to see this same drop right on here that happened yesterday. And Norm will talk a little bit about that when the segment comes up for the SPY and the market pulse. But you can see here, this drop, you're going to see it in quite a bit of the stocks we traded. So here's Tesla yesterday. Again, beautiful drop off the open. You get this. This would have been good for a rising devil. I know we've been talking about that strategy a lot, and you guys seen our recaps on us taking those type of trades. So you can see here, nice pop towards the top. You could got short in here. Oh, waited for the 5 minutes to close for a nice opening range breakdown. And again, this candle's a bit tough to take for a short. I mean, it's pretty much indecision candle, with some very aggressive wicks. That's the tough trade to take. But on the next candle, when it starts breaking down, you could have waited here until it broke the little body it has here, or lost the VWAP, or even lost the low of the day, right? You can see those are good, still good risk to reward towards the moving averages you have in this area. Then look at this drop right to 230, this level we had on here. It gets there. The loss of momentum obviously is a good place to take a partial, and then look at the next drop, losing it completely all the way down to this 225.20 level that we also had on our chart as well. Comes back up to VWAP and then kind of goes up over that under this 230 line. TSG, guys, TSG was nasty. I've been watching this one because I think eventually we might get some kind of breakout one way or the other. But look at this open yesterday. It's just really choppy, not doing much. Again, just not tradable at all. GPRO, this one was very nice, guys. Look at the drop here. Beautiful opening range opening range for the breakdown. Here's your entry on that second 5-minute candle. The 1 minute also gave you some good opportunities. If you're taking that 2-minute opening range breakdown, this was also a good opportunity as well. And then from there, just never looks back all the way down to almost $4. And then here you get a pullback to VWAP, another great place to re-enter or add to your position, or even enter the move completely. And then a nice drop again, losing the low of the day, heading all the way down to 380 this time. So that was nice on GPRO. Then eventually bounces back and recovers the VWAP and heads higher. BBY, it traded very nice right at the open. Right at the opening range, 5-minute right on here. Here's your opening range. Here's your entry signal on this pullback, or wait for the next candle, the next 5-minute on the way up towards the crack of the high of the day. That's your entry signal. And you can see how beautiful this thing popped up all the way to 1080 from $10. Again, that's a good move, guys. If you, on a $10 stock, if you can get 30-40 cents, that is amazing. And then you get a small pullback, does not test your entry depending how quick your fingers were here, and then you can see how fast it comes right back up all the way for another nice 30 cents towards the tops. Again, almost a 60 cents move on this entire opening range breakup on a $10 stock. That is very nice. Gets toppy here, guys, comes back below this 1030 area, 1038, and then from there cannot recover. It just becomes really choppy. And again, it didn't sell off with the SPY sell-off. This thing kind of held. So there were some stocks that did hold their position. That didn't drop off the face of the earth completely, like this one, Apple. look at this one here. It's just complete mess. It was very choppy in this area, and then out of nowhere, the SPY economic data comes out, as Norm was mentioning yesterday in our pre-market show, and you can see this drop here, just massive. Here is Roku. Roku also actually doing a beautiful double bottom, also good, decent opening range breakout. Not really that clean breakdown, excuse me, not really that clean, because these candles are really tough to trade for opening range. But you can see once we lose that body and then the low of the day at that time, nice drop below the moving averages. Then here, actually, when the SPY dumped, this one held, and you can see a beautiful double bottom being built right on there around 102, and then a beautiful squeeze towards the top above the VWAP. And then eventually holding the VWAP, finding the 9 moving average, and doing a nice squeeze above the high of the day for a nice little pop here. So again, this thing went from 102 to 107. That is an amazing move. You're able to catch this. Several ways to catch this, guys. We have a double bottom here, and then we have an A, B, C, D pattern forming there as well on the 5. So again, just very, very clean in that area. And then, as we know, I didn't watch this too closely yesterday. I peeked at them later in the day. AMDT, Schwab, ETF, and IBK. But again, no, not really anything that would look interesting. What I like about these stocks is their daily. We're gonna keep watching these and all the stuff that's going on, and see what kind of after effects we get on this on these brokers here. All right, Norm, what do we have so far for news, and what is the SPY up to this morning?
So, mentioned it yesterday. Like we said, there was some economic data that's come out the last few days. ISM manufacturing came out, I believe, on Tuesday. I was disappointed, started our drop, and then we precipitously dropped since then, including yesterday at 10 a.m. Eastern when the ISM non-manufacturing came out, essentially a measure of the service sector of the economy, which is the largest part and keeping and has been doing a good job of keeping us afloat. That was that missed as well, so it was to the downside. Like you said, we fell, popped back yesterday. We were a little bit red this morning, and then we had the September jobs data that came out at 7:30 right as we were coming on, which caused a nice couple of point spike in the SPY here pre-market with heavy volume. Number came in ever so a few thousand lighter than the estimates, but they revised up the last 2 months before that for a combined 45,000 additional jobs. Also, the employment rate dropped from 3.7 to 3.5%, and essentially wages held about flat. So all in all, I think the market reacted positively because they're seeing lack of inflation, unemployment tick down, and hopes of further rate cuts. It could have been a lot worse. I think the miss was by like 5,000 for September, but we picked up those extra 45,000 jobs for the 2 months previous combined. So between those being revised up and wages remaining flat, it shows a lack of inflation, which is a key reason that the Fed would raise rates or hold them. So I think the market's looking for a little more juice out of the Fed possibly from these numbers.
Gotcha. So again, we'll see how this plays out today. It looks like it's becoming a little active as we speak right now. So again, you got some movements happening here. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, guys, so let's get to it. Let's see what we have. I'm going to remove all these up here. I'll leave the brokers in here as well, just to see what we're going to get out of those today, and then we will put our list down over here. So let's get some movements. Here we go. So let's look at SRPT on our gappers list, just showing up now. This one, it is up 4.5%, 101,000 shares traded so far. So has a good pre-market activity as well. You have a nice little run up here. The daily also looks very interesting. So it looks like we're trying to get a bounce. It looks like we might have found a bottom here on 71, getting over these 2 moving averages on the daily. So we'll definitely see what this does today. Again, some decent volume. Pre-market activity looks decent as well, so worth definitely taking a look at. They had a nice little gap down here a couple of month and a half ago, looks like, and we could be getting into a little rebound area here. Norm, any news on this? It's just popped up, so I'm not sure if there's anything significant other than technicals on SRPT.
Yeah, they seem to have some positive trial results that had some news come out a little bit earlier this morning. So that's what's popped this.
Okay, perfect. So here's Snap, guys. Snap has been really active the last couple of days. Again, going as high as 18.19 and then dropping down all the way to 1350-ish area. And now we're getting a little bounce here. They're up 3.1, 385,000 shares traded. On the daily, looks very interesting. The price action right at a level of prior resistance and some great support as well. Look at this drop bouncing off that 1475-ish area and heading right back to the 18. That's when it did that nice run. And then prior to that, when it was really tanking, remember this thing took a hit big time, going almost $6. I remember it comes right back up to this area, and then you can see the resistance right on here as well, where the price action is at now. Was able to recover and bounce out of that, hitting that 18.19 for the first time in this recent period. So right now, pre-market activity is a little bit all over the place, pretty choppy, but that's typical Snap for you. Even though it has 390,000 shares traded, the pre-market activity is not great on it. We'll keep an eye on it here. I don't think they had any earnings, Norm, or anything like that. Right? These guys, I'm not sure there's any.
No, they got an analyst upgrade out of Morgan Stanley, I believe, and their price target raised from 14 to 17.
Oh, okay. Well, we were just there. Not much of
yeah. Just rewind a week and you're back to where we were.
Yeah. So this guy just went back, looked at the chart, said, "Oh, we're here. Let's bounce and go to a 14." He's not. I got to get into that business. I really do. All right. So HRTX. This one here, pre-market activity is pretty crappy, guys. Don't see much happening here, so you can see pretty dead. But this thing is down 7%. Daily chart looks decent as well, not too bad. Norm, I'm not sure if you have any crazy news on this one. Down 7% today on HRTX.
I have not looked at HRTX, so if anybody has any news on that, I'm happy to listen to them.
Yeah, and they look like they have a high short float percentage as well here, 33% also. So, but again, just pre-market looks horrible. Both trails.
Actually, from what I can tell, it's a secondary. It's a secondary offering. And Carlos, can you hear me all right? Somebody in the room said that my mic doesn't sound right.
No, you sound perfectly fine.
Okay.
No, you sound good.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's what we have here off the gappers list. Let's quickly go through Nasdaq active, then Nasdaq gainers, and let's look at the top 10 on these both of these columns. Nasdaq ETF slightly up this morning as the SPY seems to be making a move towards the upside. NAKD, as you guys know, is nasty here. Then here we have TVIX slightly down, obviously with the SPY being up. This was very active yesterday. Andrew took an amazing trade yesterday on TVIX. Live for you guys, so make sure you check out that recap. XELA, this is horrible, guys, up 26%. But again, look at this daily chart, just really nasty, trading under $5 as well. So again, I'm not sure I want to be keeping an eye on this one. Apple, guys, Apple's right back up nicely here. I'm surprised Apple's not hitting our gapper scanners.
It did for a second earlier. It's just
it's just below that.
It's just under 2%. Yeah,
this is worth watching, guys. This is definitely back at that area that we've been watching. Norm, again, this resistance here. Norm took a beautiful trade on this one a couple of days ago, and we're back at this area. Is that the 52-week high? Maybe not. Pretty close to it. It was actually,
it was almost or right at a year ago when it made its all-time high, which would have been higher.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what it does today. Again, it's a nice little movement here. Norm, any news on Apple that's causing this?
Actually, yeah. So news is that they have asked their suppliers to up their production by 10%. So looks like they're expecting better than they anticipated iPhone sales for this current cycle.
Okay, excellent. All right, so that is what we have there. This looks very good. I definitely like the way Apple is moving today. Tons of volume too, 720,000 shares traded. Hence, we see the reason why you have this nice pre-market activity off of Apple. Next, we have NASDAQ ETF. Let's go down to THBRW. Not sure what that is. We'll skip it. TLT. This one's a treasury, guys. Been very active. Obviously, making a nice little run here of a bounce over here. So again, this is doing well. But again, not really anything we watch on our main watch list. We do have another NASDAQ indicator here as well. We have the next one, number 10, is Go. So what is Go doing? Go was in our list yesterday as well. Let's look at the intraday just to see how Go actually traded. This is something that we should take a look at. I don't know. Volume is really light. You can tell here only 50,000 on some of these candles or less. Again, not looking pretty active on that 5 minutes. So, and you could tell by the daily chart too, guys. The daily chart doesn't look all that great on this grocery outlet holdings. Looks like, but again, just very choppy. Not a nice daily candle, daily chart at all. XLEA we looked at, more of a penny stock really. Again, it's got some great volume, up 22%, but again, not a clean pre-market activity, and the daily also looks a bit crappy. OMEX also horrible, guys, nothing happening here. MNKD also not looking great at all, no activity. XBIO, also one that's always on this list, never looking great. PHUN, same situation. SRPT, we do have. This one is popping up nicely here, so definitely worth taking a look at. It's got a great pre-market activity, up 5.7. Next, we have REGI, no activity. NEPT, also on this list, not much going on. JMU, nothing. And OCGN, same. These guys are always on here, never doing anything great. MEIP, and that will be the last one there. So that is what we have, guys. Norm, what do you like this morning?
There's actually a couple sticking out. Avaya, AVYA. It's got a partnership with RNG. I haven't decided which of either of those I might trade, but they've. I'm looking into those.
IMG?
RNG. RNG. Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
And then HPQ as well. They've got some job cuts, some restructuring that they're doing that's causing them to gap down 6.6% on fairly heavy volume pre-market.
All right, yeah, this looks good here. Nice little drop here, down 6.6. This should be hitting our scanners. Maybe the ATR is a little bit lower, but it does got the volume and it does got the nice drop. So definitely worth watching these two. All right.
Yeah, its ATR is only 43 cents.
Okay, there we go. All right. What do you guys like on your end? What do you guys like so far this morning? Let's go over to. Go ahead.
I think you already mentioned it, but Apple for sure.
Oh, yeah, Apple for sure, man. This thing is looking really good. Nice little bounce here. And again, we're right at this perfect area, surpassing the first sign of resistance here before we're able to take off and make this recent high. So, yeah, that's going to be good to watch. All right, so let's start over here. Paris, AVYA. We do have HPQ. Yep, definitely going to look at that one. That looks interesting. Apple, HPQ, TER. Let's see what's up with TER here. So TER has a great drop, 3.7, good volume. But man, this pre-market activity looks like it has several block trades or what, but I'm not seeing a great pre-market activity just yet. Now, what I do like about this one on the daily is that you clearly have the price action sitting right at an area of support, prior resistance before it was able to consolidate here and break out. So if it can lose that, you can definitely run at least to 16, maybe even further down to 15.50, depending what kind of news and what's going on with this. But right now, although it has great value, I'm not seeing a good pre-market activity. This could be a good possible, guys, put into your secondary list. So T. Yeah.
Speaking of secondary offering, it looks like is what's caused this to spike down.
Yeah. So again, that's what's causing this nasty pre-market activity. So take it from your secondary list and just scratch it. Let me see. So here, let's go up. What else do we have, guys? So we have, we have those. Aviate, perfect. All right. What do we have over on the YouTube chat? TERE from CFC. We looked at. Again, secondary offering, so not all that great trading activity right now. All right, guys. So again, pretty quiet on the chats this morning. Everybody still's got to get going with their coffee, I guess, for a Friday morning. NVIDIA, let's see what's going on. I definitely
need more myself.
Yeah, I have mine already. I usually don't drink coffee, but today was definitely one of those days. NVIDIA here is, let's see what NVIDIA is doing. Yeah, NVIDIA's daily is also very interesting. Again, chopping around this area of consolidation. Had a big day yesterday. I'm surprised NVIDIA didn't sell much at all, looks like, with the SPY. But again, had a nice big day yesterday here. And here we're having some kind of hesitation to move. We'll see what it does here. But again, pre-market activity is very, very light. This is a good one to watch, for scanners. Or keep on your secondary list. Because, again, today's going to be one of those days where the scanners and watching what pops up, will be important. So It's okay, guys. Some days you start off like this, and you'd be surprised, what kind of stuff you can get at the open. Things can turn out for the
Yeah,
better.
I think we'll heat up here in the next 20
Yeah.
minutes,
Yep.
especially since that jobs number came out.
Absolutely. Yeah, MU's one that I will definitely keep an eye on a little later at 9:30, depending what I get first. But MU, you can tell here that has a nice little area of support right on here as well. Several touches on this, the low from yesterday and the day before, right? You got those two lows right on there. And you can tell here that is an area of support where a lot of buyers are stepping in. So we'll see what happens there. And if the SPY decides to go north today and have a big day, that can definitely influence MU. AMD is just nasty, guys. Not sure what's going on here. Not much happening the last couple of days with AMD, so I'll probably keep this one off my list. All right, folks, let's get over to announcements, and then we'll come back and look at this list and see what is going on there. If anything has changed, anything new, and we'll talk about it.
All right. So if you haven't checked out the Facebook page, go over there for the Bearable Traders Facebook page. Pictures of the Steam Barter meetup in New York City are up. Number one best trader competition with DAS is still going on. Ends on October 15th. You can go to onebesttrader.com. Check that out. BBT is well represented. We're actually pretty proud. The number two member or the number two ranked trader in that as of at least a day or so ago. Decided to join Bearable Traders. He learned a lot, he said, from the content that we put out on YouTube, enough so that he's in awesome shape in that competition. And I believe William's going to have an interview with him here in the next few days. So keep an eye out for that. It should be interesting. We're honored to have been nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards in the Best Financial Literacy Tool category. If you appreciate the content we put out, we would be honored to have your vote. It takes about 2 seconds. You can vote one time per day, per device. AB will throw up the link. You can just go there. It takes about 2 seconds, as I said. Meetups coming up. St. Louis, we're going to have Kurt and William at that one, October 19th. San Diego coincides with the Trade Ideas Conference. If you get a chance, go to the conference, then go to the meetup. The conference is really one of the better learning conferences that I've seen or participated in. I was unable to go last year, but I did stream it. And if you can't go, stream it. But we'd love to see you out there as well. Clearwater Beach, and Andrew will be there too. That's on October 26th. And Clearwater Beach, Florida is coming up November 16th. More info as we get closer to that date. We had a bunch of non-members go to the Steam Barter meetup in New York City. You can use if a lot of them asked about becoming members, you can use the discount code New York City to get a 30% off discount on the lifetime membership or 25% off an annual membership. Then website maintenance, guys. This evening, I believe 6 p.m. Eastern through about Sunday, we are migrating the site to a new hosting company. So hopefully we get a little bit better everything out of it. Sorry, the site will not be up most of that time, or there will be pages not working and such. But once we get past the weekend, hopefully we have a much better experience from the move. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube and you'd like to come in the room and trade with us live, watch us trade, try out the room, any of that, you're welcome. We'd love to have you. You can use the promo code premarket24 for a discount off a 1-week trial that does not auto-renew and does not change into a different type of membership. If you appreciate the content we put out, you want to know when we're going live or new interviews like the one I just mentioned come out, if you subscribe and then hit the notification bell, you will be notified as new content is released or when live events begin. Then we're also very proud to be supporting Traders for a Cause. You can go to their website and see the amazing charities that they contribute to. They have a big event coming up in October that should push them over the $1 million given to these charities that I mentioned are listed on their site. And it's 4 days in Las Vegas. Andrew will be there. So check that out, and you can use the promo code BearableVIP to save $250 off a ticket to that.
All right.
That's all I got.
Perfect. All right, so I saw 2 tickers being thrown out there. Gary gave us Roku, and we also got think Costco, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
COST.
Costco reported last night.
Yeah, so not much going on right now.
Costco's, there's not a whole lot going on with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, Costco, their numbers were okay, whatever, but they've blown out their numbers. And if you look at their daily or weekly chart over the last 2 or 3 years, I'd even go to a weekly, Carlos, that
Mm-hmm.
they're up so high.
Dang.
It's one of those, if you didn't, you've almost tripled your money in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And, unless they just blow out every quarter, it's questionable. Costco can be a little difficult to trade. It's barely got any volume now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most liquid stock out there, and the spread on it is $1.
Yeah, yeah, no, this thing has been
So,
so strong. You're so right. So yeah, so that's COST, and then Roku. Let's see, is getting active. Let's see what's going on there. Let's get into that weekly looks interesting, but let's get into our daily chart. Yeah, Roku had an amazing move yesterday, going from 102 straight up to 106. Off a double bottom above the VWAP. So that was very nice. Here again, we are finding some kind of support around 100. Right, this thing has several big dropping days here. Eventually found some support here at 100, and now it looks like it might be turning its head the other way. And we do have a nice little gap here that we can try to close over around, what is this, 119 or so. So again, you have some room towards the top. If we can get above some of these small area of resistance, again, I think we're right on it. So I think, Roku is definitely worth adding to the list. They are trading very well lately, and if the SPY decides to head higher, which let's see what the SPY is up to now, that can also give it a little bit of fuel. Yeah, nice. Yeah, red to green on this move here. Look at the volume coming in on the one, and that caused this move to happen. So again, that could be interesting. We have a nice little gap here that we can close. Again, we'll see how this Friday ends up, but I think this is going to cause a lot of more stocks to pop up into our gapper scanner. So we'll see how that changes things. All right, so let's get through this list. Again, AMDT, Schwab, ETF, E-Trade, and IBKR. I have these here just to make sure that, just to keep an eye on them. They're not really in play right now. A lot of them really have no volume at all. Just over the next couple of days, let's see what happens here, especially with TD Ameritrade. I mean, this one took the hardest hit. I think eventually we're going to get a bounce out of this, so we just got to keep watching and see what we can get out of that. SRPT, guys, so this one is pretty active, 23,000 shares traded. Our high of our pre-market sitting at 86.86. Below that, you have plenty of levels. I'm not even going to add the pre-market low because look at this here, guys. Highs and lows from the last two trading days, which are these two here. Previous day close, moving average as well. Again, just tons of levels towards the bottom. Looks like we kind of bottomed out here around, what is this, 72-ish, 72.80, 73, and now we're heading towards the north side here. So high of the pre-market, 86.84 to be exact. Above that, very clean area right on here at 91.84, and then a beautiful, hopefully a gap fill there if we can, well, not the gap fill, but the start of the gap at 105. If we can get through some of these levels, that would be nice. Again, that's a stretch, but I definitely 86 and 91, 84 are pretty nice levels that are definitely reachable and obtainable today if we can get going towards the upside. Here is Snap. Snap again bouncing back today. Don't like the pre-market activity as much. It does have some great volume, but again, it's just one of those things that it doesn't trade very well when it's not in play. We did get a couple of good days out of this, but then lately it's just been dropping pretty bad here, down to 14.13. So high of our pre-market sitting at 14.80. Above that, you do have a very clean level right on here that 2 days ago high around 15.36. So I think that's a great level. I don't think you need to add anymore. You could get fancy and add this one on here, 15.05. Which around 15 you are going to get a loss of momentum anyway, just because it's a whole dollar amount like we saw here when we were trying to break out of 17. Clearly 17 was going to be an area of resistance. You can see that on there. William took a nice trade here for a long on a possible breakout. So I think 15 you're going to get some hesitation there. Above that, you got this next moving average high from 2 days ago. I think that's plenty. And then you have, I'm sorry, not moving average, price level. And then you have plenty of moving averages in here around 15.50. It looks like 16 and maybe 16.25ish or so. So again, not going to add too many on Snap. Not my favorite today. Probably won't even make my final list, even if I have to watch less than 6. So HRT, again, this one, guys, is pretty flat at the moment. Not seeing anything too excited on here. Pre-market activity is not looking all that great. We do have some areas of support and resistance towards the top and bottom. But again, guys, I'm not really liking this one at all. So I might just remove this one from my list here. Let's look at Apple. Apple, I do like great pre-market activity, guys. I'm sure the SPY is helping with this, right? The SPY has the same pop here, but overall, I like the daily, especially on Apple, because we're at an area where it's the almost the all-time high, not the all-time high, the 52-week high is very close to it. So 228 is an area that if we can get into that, that would be great. I think the all-time high, I'm not mistaken, is a 230ish or something like that. So interesting the way it's trading right now. Towards the bottom, guys, you got plenty of support. Don't need to add anymore. I'm looking for this to break out. Hopefully that is this 228, and we'll definitely take a stab at that. Roku is looking very good, guys. Again, if we can break out of this prior resistance that we have had, we can mark down this day here, 111.75 is good. Then above that, really the next best level, if we can break that out of that one, is 117. Again, that's a big move above $10. I don't think we might get that today, but we'll definitely see how that plays out, because again, this thing is really, I want to say, extended towards the downside with this big drops. It can be due for a bounce. We do have some moving averages on here as well. You know, just for the heck of it, let's mark 127. Again, I'm not sure that's going to happen today, but if we can get from where the price action is now over to 111, that's an amazing move out of Roku. And we saw how this thing can move. This thing can move very well, going as low as 101 yesterday and ending the day at 108. So again, that's a $7 move. So Roku is nice. AVYA also pretty active right now. 541,000 shares traded at the moment. I'm gonna do the high of the pre-market sitting at 1220, and our low of the pre-market sitting at 1105. So I'll mark that down. So we have that area here. Our price is sitting right above this level, 1177. I'm gonna mark that down, because right below it actually, because that is the beginning of this gap here. So those levels are important. If we can get above that and head back to 1219 and hopefully close this gap here, the most recent gap at 1266, that can be an excellent move. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Towards the bottom, you got your low, and then below that you have plenty of areas of support here in this section, because you have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and your previous day close. RNG, wow, put in a nice little print here on the 1 minute. Let's see what we're doing on the daily. So RNG, yeah, this looks very interesting, guys. Volume is starting to come in now. It didn't have much, but now it's starting to actually come in here. Let's put the high of this spot over here at 146. High of a pre-market. Looks like it's about to be broken, so I'm not going to mark it down right now. Looks like we might be breaking out of that.
Spread on this is nasty. Just one note on that.
Yeah, it's $1 right now, guys. So definitely look out for the spread. I might not keep this one in my final list. As I get closer to 930, this spread is not a lot better. We might remove this one. So I'm marking down 137.58, guys, because that was an area of prior support right on there. So I'm going to put that down. And then above this, we have this area here, 142-ish, 142.93. So we'll see how that plays out. Towards the bottom, nice moving average at 134.42. And you also have this area here where you have some prior resistance before it started dropping back down. So we'll keep an eye on that. Up 9% this morning. We'll see how that plays out. Volume is not all there yet. Starting to get going a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out. If we can break out of this 140 that we're sitting at right now. Next we have HPQ. So HPQ, let's remove some of these levels, get some fresh ones. Not much activity right now, but you said, Norm, these guys are on earnings today, I believe.
No, they had a downgrade, and they announced they're going to have a bunch of layoffs as well, some restructuring.
Oh, that is never good. So low of the pre-market, guys, 17.14. We'll mark that down. Our high at 17.79. Look at the low of the pre-market, an area of support right on there. If we lose that, what's the next thing we have? Yeah, we have nothing for some time here. So if we lose that, is game on toward the downside. So I'll definitely be looking out for that. Here we have some areas of consolidation right next, close to the high of the pre-market. You can mark this one here, 1662. Not the best level, but in case this thing pops up, you want to look out for that area of prior support. Above the high of the pre-market, you have your next level, which is actually a very clean one, right? This here is not as clean these 3 days. But the next one is very nice. You have your high from this day here, several days consolidating around the low of yesterday. Again, you can see that support nicely there until we lost it today based on the most recent news. So HPQ is actually, I'm going to move HPQ up to my main list. HPQ, we'll throw it on here. So we have SRPT. We have Snap, which is not one of my favorites, but we'll see how that plays out today. We have Apple, which is looking great, good pre-market activity. Roku is also looking nice on the daily. Again, not
Does
much.
that make does that make Snapple?
What was that?
Does that make Snapple?
Does that make Snap? You know what? It could.
Oh,
So it could. It definitely does right there. So Roku is on here. It's Friday, folks. HPQ.
sorry, it's dad jokes are coming out. I spent 2 whole days with my kid at the house.
So HPQ is on here, guys. So this is great too. If we can get some volume and lose this low 1714, also will be nice. And then these two are more like a possible. Again, there it goes. RNG. Again, I'm not sure about this one, guys. You gotta be careful. Look at the pop up above 139 now, above 140. So again, be extremely cautious on this. What's the ATR and float on this bad boy? So flow is good, 69. ATR is $4.41. So that kind of tells you got to be really careful. Yes, $140 stock, but still $4 ATR is quite a bit. All right, guys. So that is what we have at the moment. Anything else you guys see on your end that might look interesting that we might look at? Mark, HPQ. Yeah, we do have HPQ here. I think it looks great. Pre-market activity does not look great, but overall the daily looks amazing on some news of layoffs, as Norm mentioned before. So again, that's the way to go. Oh yeah, Go. Somebody mentioned that this in YouTube as well. Forgot to go back to Go. So Go, yeah, we looked at this one earlier. The issue with this one is, I don't know, it doesn't trade very well, and the daily is horrible too. Let's look at the intraday from yesterday. Let's see how that traded yesterday. Yeah, this is one we're looking at earlier, guys. So Go again. I don't know. This looks tough to trade. Again, looking at it in hindsight, I don't know how the actual activity was yesterday, but it looks like it's not as clean, and the volume not really all there. And also the daily. The daily, if you see the daily, some of these wicks, some of these candles are just very algo-like, right? See how flat they are, and you got some days that look okay. But you know what? Let's put it as a possible. Let's put it as a possible. And we can definitely take a look at it. As far as levels, you got plenty towards the bottom. Don't need to add any more. Previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. High from yesterday above where the price action is now. And then this nasty daily chart. Yeah, I might not watch this. 36.75 could be an area here where you can get through if you can get above these moving averages. But again, guys, this is definitely not one of my favorites right now. He's got some good volume, 528. It's got a great pre-market activity too. So who knows? Maybe today it could be better than what it did yesterday. Looked like it had a nice day on. That was Thursday. No, that was Wednesday. A nice day Wednesday. So let's keep an eye on it. Let's see what it does. Yes, Scott, RNG and AVYA. Norm mentioned earlier. These two are in conjunction with each other now, and RNG. Definitely on the move right now. Again, light volume, guys.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm taking RNG off my list right now. I don't want to trade it. I don't see a way to manage your risk in this.
That's the thing, guys.
With
yeah,
$13 move, it's not liquid. It has traded only 36,000 shares this morning.
Yeah.
Not that it's not possible to make money. It's not possible to control your risk, in my view on that for myself. So
yeah, I definitely agree, guys. Be very, very cautious with that, or even just skip it. There's other stocks we have here on this list that you can watch. What do we have here? BTC giving us CGC. What's going on with these guys? They are bouncing back a bit. Looks like I had a nice bounce back yesterday. Right now, not much activity though. Only 34,000 shares traded. Not much happening in that arena. CORN, same situation, guys. Again, these guys have been taking a hit though. The last couple of months. Look at this. It's been on a beautiful downtrend. So, not sure what the situation is. They've found a bottom. You can tell if you go back to November of last year is an area where they were at before. Again, it's been on a nasty drop on CORN. I'm assuming they all look the same. Yeah, somewhat the same. So they're back on that area around December, November, where we had the massive drop. With the market and everything else as well. Again, just not sure what the deal is. But right now, as pre-market activity and volume, they're both really, really light. I don't see anything too exciting on it. Netflix gapped up. Netflix, yeah, you got a little. No, actually, no, it's pretty flat compared to yesterday. Hasn't gapped up yet. So again, just we'll see what Netflix does. Also consolidating nicely around this area here after a nice little drop here. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But not much activity right now. Only 21,000 shares traded. I agree. Apple is probably one of the favorites on this list. Looks very, very
So
good. So let me see.
breaks that 228.17. It really could go nicely.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to that. What is the SPY up to? What are we doing here? We still on the move up? Yep, red to green
Yeah.
move. So this is nice on the SPY at the moment. So that'll be good. All right, guys. So I think we have a decent list for a Friday. And again, as always, eyes on scanners, guys. Things always come up on the scanner, and you can catch some good opportunities there as well. And then AMTD, we'll keep a look on these guys as well, see how these guys are going to be trading today, if they get the volume. Again, especially TD Ameritrade, I think this one is taking a very hard hit, so we'll keep an eye out on this. A lot of great trades that you guys have been taking on the last couple of days on these stocks. Again, ETFC looks pretty choppy on the daily, but Schwab and TD Ameritrade have been really good. All right, guys, unless there's anything else, this is what we have. Yeah, HPQ, I have HPQ here. I think that's another good one as well, guys. We do have this one here. Pre-market activity is down, some good volume. And if we lose this here, we have not been down here. This is 52-week low, I think. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, it's 52-week low, guys. So we have not been down here below that level. So that will be interesting. Last time we were on there was around June 2017. So if we can lose this 1714, this could be a really nice short. But again, let's wait for the open. Let's see how the volume sets out. Let's wait for that first 5-15 minutes and see what we can get out of this. Because again, this can also be a nice area where some buyers might say, hey, it's a good time to buy and head back up. So you want to be careful with that as well. Let the market tell you what it's going to be the move, and then take an opportunity in that situation. All right, guys, thank you on YouTube for joining us, guys. We appreciate you guys spending your mornings with us here at BBT. Have a great weekend, and as usual, it is Friday, so trade safe, trade discipline, and make sure you go into your weekend not thinking about, man, why didn't I follow my rules? Red or green, you want to go into your weekend knowing that you were disciplined and you traded well. This way you can live in the moment during the weekend and spend time with your family and friends and not think about trading so much and not being able to be disciplined through your day. So take care, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll check you on Monday, 8:30 Eastern time.
Couldn't agree more, guys. Thanks for joining us. We always appreciate you being a part of it on YouTube. Have a good weekend.